Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Nobody Important podcast. I am Ramon.
And I am Felipe.
And apparently he still doesn't know his audio cues. So today we are doing episode 2 or part 2 of our social distancing episode, our social distancing series, I should say, because we still are not able to meet up. We're still in quarantine. So how's that going for you?
It's not too bad. It's weird, but I'm not sure how I feel about working from home, though.
Meanwhile, it's something I've been trying to do for a year now, and I'm finally able to do it.
I can see its perks, but man, it's hard to keep on task.
Yeah, it does. It does definitely catch you off guard. You do get distracted easily, but it does have a lot of benefits that I truly enjoy. But as we get into the episode, we'll say right now we are currently on Anchor, Pocket Cast, Spotify, YouTube, and finally, as of last week, we made it onto Apple Podcasts. So if you listen to any podcast on any of those platforms, please give us a follow, give us any feedback you may need or you may have. Definitely love to hear it. Follow us also on Instagram at Nobody Important Podcast.
You know, man, I am shocked how quickly you got all that together. Like the Apple Podcast one, I was like, yo, holy shit, he did it. He did it.
Yeah, I remember we were playing a game the other night, and I think like just in the middle of us playing, I checked my email and I was like, oh shit, we got the approval for Apple Podcasts. And I didn't say anything and I just sent it to you. You just let out that audible like, oh shit.
I mean, it became real when it's like, oh crap.
I know, right? On the biggest podcasting platform. So for us, that is a huge accomplishment. That is a ton of fun. And I hope we can continue to grow with it because I put in a lot of work to get us on that.
Oh man, thanks for all that stuff, man. That's huge.
Yeah, it's fun. But as we start all of our episodes, today we are, in light of being the social distancing episode again, we actually did 2 drinks for our drink of the week because when we're not in the same building, we can never decide that we want to drink the same things. We also have different alcohols, different liquors available to each other on our own at our own homes. English is hard, man. Why am I struggling with that?
I don't know. Normally I'm the one with the flubs, not you. So
yeah, I think it's just because I've been working from home for a couple of weeks now, and I'm not talking to people on a daily basis like I usually do. And so now it's just throwing me off and I'm forgetting how to talk.
God damn it.
Right? Soon enough, I'm going to start talking with your accent.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious. I can just imagine your wife freaking the fuck out.
But my drink to start off with is one that I actually found on Reddit. From a guy that his Instagram is House of Hogo. And I guess he makes a couple different drinks. I just checked his Instagram. He's got a couple different ones that he's made on there. But he did a take on the Paloma, which is a classic tequila, grapefruit juice, and like seltzer water, nice highball drink. And he did a take on that, added Campari, and called it the Jaliscan Bullworm.
Which I think you told me when it's a play on a giant worm in SpongeBob, right?
Yep, the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob. So I am a child at heart and I grew up watching SpongeBob. And so when I saw that name, I started laughing uncontrollably because the whole thing from that episode was, it's big, it's pink, it's an Alaskan bullworm. And so it's a big, it's a big pink drink.
Now I remember that. I remember that now. Oh God!
So that stuck out to me. Shout out to the guy House of Hogo for the drink. It's actually delicious. I was just sipping on it a little bit before we started recording. It's a nice bit of sweetness. It's got a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of bite because of the Campari, but it is actually really, really good.
That's cool, man. Glad you were able to make that one.
I'm finally using the straws that you brought to my house too because I never used them up until now. Yeah, it fits.
Hey. I am also using the one straw I kept. I made Gordon's Cup. I watched a video on this a long time ago, and it's on my favorites. And then I as I showed you, and I posted this on the Instagram, I bought a book from the main bartender of Milk and Honey, which is the bar that created the Gold Rush, which is one of our favorite cocktails. I think it's your favorite cocktail.
That is
and I
my
think
favorite.
we did it on episode 2.
Yeah.
So of course I had to buy it because I'm so interested to see like if they came up with that, what else did they come up with? Books called Regarding Cocktails. So as I was reading through it, I came across this recipe again. Like, oh crap! I pretty much have everything I need except cucumber. So when I went out today, I bought some cucumbers. Basically, it's 2 ounces of some gin, simple syrup, bunch of lime, cucumber. Muddle it up. You dump the whole thing into a cup. So it's kind of like a whiskey smash, which I made at your house like a few months ago.
Okay.
So it's super simple because you don't have to strain the thing. It's just you dump it in. The kind of the garnish is just a pinch of salt and black pepper because I think it's meant to be a brunch drink.
Interesting.
This shit will fuck you up because it doesn't taste like alcohol. It is so well balanced. Like, no joke. I don't taste gin. I just taste cucumber water.
I mean, cucumber, like, I love cucumber water. It's actually like, it's a recent love of mine. I never pretty much drank cucumber water like at all until maybe the last year or 2. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, like I started to love cucumber water. It is so damn refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Like this is going to be it's all a bit complicated, right? Because of all the ingredients, but it's going to be drunk throughout the summer because it is just really refreshing, really crisp. And again, man, this thing will sneak up on you. You can just, you'd pound these.
Dang. That sounds delicious. I'll have to make one of these days. I have everything that I need, except I also don't have cucumber. I might actually. I'm gonna have to check my fridge. But
you know what we should do though is when we come back together. Pause. We make these drinks again, but for each other. So I would be drinking the Jaliscan Bullworm, and you'd be drinking Gordon's Cup.
Yeah, actually, I'm down for that because I think you would like this. You would like the bitterness of it and the balance of the sweetness, and then I am just curious on the taste of that, just how refreshing that sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious though. So like the salt and the black pepper, like to me in a drink, that sounds weird.
Honestly, couldn't really taste it. And I use fresh ground pepper, and normally fresh ground pepper, very, very flavorful. You taste it right away. You know you're eating pepper. The salt, I mean, once it mixes in the drink, it's kind of gone.
Yeah.
But it was weird. I was expecting more taste of pepper, but
interesting.
I don't know. The video I was watching, the guy said, it's like, this famous bartender says, you should throw a pinch of salt in everything because when you get down to it, salt is a flavor enhancer, and every drink could be flavorly enhanced. Of course, you got to watch yourself because you got to fucking throw salt in a martini or something. That just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm like hypersensitive to putting salt in anything. Like I immediately taste it. I don't like excessive amounts of salt. Granted, a pinch of salt isn't excessive, but in something that's not supposed to have salt, if all of a sudden it's there, I'm like, what the fuck?
I think it makes the cucumber pop a little bit more. As I said, I didn't really taste lime. It's just the cucumber. I didn't even use that much cucumber. I used 3 slices. But
dang.
Yeah, no, it's good. I really like this one. It's definitely one for the future.
Nice. I approve. And we'll definitely have to look through that book because I am curious. Like you said, if they made the Gold Rush, then we need to figure that out and see what else is in there. Also, apparently we've been drinking our Gold Rushes wrong.
Oh, yeah. So every video we've been watching always says honey syrup is 1 part honey to 1 part water. Well, the good old book, as the creators of the drink, had a recipe how to make honey syrup, and I think
it was 1 part honey and like 1/3 water. Yeah, so basically a thicker syrup and not as much water, not as watered down, not as runny, but it totally changes the flavor, totally changes the actual like dimensions and everything of it. So like now I need to re-go and make new honey syrup with the proper ratios.
Oh, me too. Like there's so many things that use honey syrup in this book, and I'm so happy because we make honey syrup. We don't know how to make one thing with it.
Right.
But there's like the bee's knees, which I knew about, but then there's one that is a take on the bee's knees called the business.
Okay.
See what they did there.
Yeah.
That I'm really looking forward to because I know it's just another use for honey syrup. But yeah, we got to make honey syrup the right way, and we'll go from there. But man, yeah, this thing is really really cool. It's just it's a good book. I can't wait to take it to your house and just leave it at the bar.
Yeah, man, that'll be awesome for sure. But as we digress and spend all this time talking about drinks, we should actually start going into our other weekly segment that we really like to talk about, and that's our weekly honor and report, where we talk about just something really good that happened throughout the week, or maybe a good news story, someone that did something very positive, but then also on the report side, just an absolute dumbass and someone that just deserved to basically just get smacked or get called an idiot. So, should you start or should I?
Let's go honor report. How about that?
Cool. Let's do it. So, go ahead.
My honor is a video I saw earlier this week of let me give you the backstory. This mom and her friend and like two kids were hanging out in front of a gas station that was a Greyhound bus stop. Okay. A guy tried to kidnap one of her kids. She pulled him away, ran inside the gas station. The guy followed them in there. So this motherfucker must have really wanted the kid.
Was it a boy or a girl?
I think it was a boy.
Okay.
Other people try to get involved, but the guy was kind of like tough. So they all kind of try to keep him inside the gas station. Then out of nowhere, this 16-year-old kid, who the story says is a high school championship wrestler, and he looked like it. He's a big old boy, like country strong. Like he looks like a farmer's kid, but in New Mexico. And that motherfucker picks him up and then just pins him. Oh. And he holds him down until the cops arrive. I'm like, yo, this kid was just filling up his truck, saw what the hell was going on. He went in there and was the hero of the situation.
Damn.
It's like, and he held like that. Clearly he was going to win. He was much bigger than the man trying to kidnap the kid. But it's just like, didn't have to do that. Didn't know the risk.
And for a 16-year-old kid, a weapon, a gun, like a knife, something. Like
and we're so used to kids being just dumbasses. It's rare to see a good story like this. So it was good on him that he helped an attempted kidnapper and
seriously,
guy fucking whatever he was planning to do.
Yeah, I'd be curious to follow that one and see like what some of the end results come from that, as far as like what they end up saying about the kid, because I know a lot of times police don't like civilians getting involved in different cases, and so it's like, all right, do they tell him like, hey, this was helpful, but also he shouldn't have done that, or is it? I guess I'm too cynical when it comes to those types of news stories, because I'm so used to like all of those positive news stories having a negative twist, and it's really bad. Like I should not have that, but
no, it'll happen because it happens all the time. It'll be like the guy who was pinned down is suing him for assault because
broken arm or something.
Yeah, like fuck out of here. God, it makes me feel like there's something else to it, because I think he was riding the bus with them. So like, did he follow them to New Mexico to do this shit? But whatever. Damn. I digress. We'll look at it more. Hopefully, more stuff pops up from it.
That is a crazy one. So the one that I have, my honor for the week, is a throwback, like way the hell back to our childhood. Did you ever watch Reading Rainbow?
Yes.
So I rarely watched it. Like I sparingly watched it. I don't remember specifics, but I remember it being just this very positive, very wholesome. The host, LeVar Burton, would read to kids. He would read stories. And the whole concept was just like helping people read and give them this positive environment around reading and learning. And it's since off the air, like forever. But one cool thing, so with everyone going into quarantine, with everyone going into kind of like isolation within their own homes, LeVar Burton brought up the idea again of starting Reading Rainbow out of his own house. And he would live stream it on something like Twitch or like some other platform where he could actually just like live stream and upload episodes of it. I was like, that's freaking cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
as I was reading the article, and it mentioned kind of the goal of him wanting to do it is one to just create that same environment again, where all of these kids are now home from school. Like every school in the country, pretty much, as far as I know, like every school in the country is shut down for the entirety of the school, for the remainder of the school year, and potentially longer, depending on how long all of this takes to blow over. And for him to say like, okay, I want this to still be this environment where kids can read, they can learn, and be a voice to help, that was really, really cool. And then as I was reading more into it, I noticed that one of the hurdles that he was facing was that people or copyright laws. And because he would be live streaming it, because he would be recording it, whatever, he can't read a book that he doesn't own or have like the copyright license for.
Damn.
Right? Copyright's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was he posted a thing like either on Twitter, or there were like a couple news outlets that reported it. And so a shit ton of authors started reaching out to him, like in writing, saying, you have my express permission to read my book for this. I'm even having my publisher send you copies of this book.
Hey.
I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
For something like that, the community to get through and band together for something like that, I thought was really, really cool. It sounds so like childish and sounds so just kind of like nostalgic. And I think that's why. But at the same time, like groups of people banding together for something positive like that is really cool to see.
You know, I don't think we're the only ones who feel that way. I'm a huge fan of Rooster Teeth, and every once a year they do like a charity live stream, 24-hour live stream. At some point, they had LeVar Burton's daughter working at the company, so she got LeVar to show up. And part of the 24-hour live stream was LeVar reading to the camera. But all the employees sat at his feet, like Indian style.
Nice.
And it's like, it's people our age, but it's just growing up. That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to be at his feet as he read to you. And they're all like living this crazy dream. And it just seems so weird, but cool at the same time. It's like, hey, this guy who was an influence to us in our childhood is here in front of us. Let's appreciate what we have in front of us right now. And that's just like, oh, that's so cool. But
hell yeah, that is actually really freaking cool. I hadn't seen that. I know, like, anytime you talk about Rooster Teeth or any of the events that they do, it's actually pretty cool to hear some of that and just like the community contributions. But I'm hoping this takes off. I'm hoping to see it, go really, really well and get a lot of support behind it, because again, it's just cool. It's one of those things where it's like our generation, a lot of our generation grew up with reading Rainbow and with LeVar Burton, and you said having that experience and then having all these people band together to make it succeed. Really, really cool to see.
Yeah, no, I hope it takes off, and I hope this new generation of kids gets to experience something we experienced. So
yeah,
that's cool.
On the flip side of all of that,
so
dumbass, or your dumbass, let's go. Who's going? Because we can rant about either one here.
So we talked last week about those senators who sold the stock, correct?
Yep.
I saw a story again on Reddit where one of the senators who sold their stock invested it in healthcare supplies.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So they only did they do one fucked up thing, which would be illegal. They kind of double dipped. And I'm not sure that's what I was looking for before the show. I was trying to find the source because I'm like 100% sure I saw it. I saw that headline. I just could not find it right now because I didn't know that. But yeah, that's it. That she took with the money she made from selling the stock and invested it in healthcare supplies.
So it might be the same person that I'm thinking of, or of the article that I saw, but the article that I saw didn't mention her reinvesting it. It just mentioned the amount of money that one of the senators, or one of the, I shouldn't say senators because I don't remember if it was a senator or House. I just know it was Congress, but it was a member from Congress, and it was a woman. and that the early reports were that she had made like a little over $1 million from selling the stocks that she had based on the information that she had gained being a part of Congress. The report that I saw earlier this week said that actually that number was over $18 million.
I saw that when I was looking for my source, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. And so I don't know if it's the same person, but I did. And again, I don't know if it was like as a result of reinvesting in like the medical stock, like you said, but it's totally possible. And I just remember seeing the number basically instead of $1 million. It's like, no, it's actually over 18 million that they made from insider trading, essentially. Actually, not even essentially, it's fucking insider trading.
Yeah, no, it is. And I was reading, it's like, well, yeah, it is illegal, but it's really hard to prove with senators. I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah. It pisses you off how little you can do.
Yeah, and literally, what can we do as people? Like, we can do nothing. We can create what, like a petition? Big fucking deal. Nothing's going to happen.
They're not our congressmen. It's not like we can vote to make that difference. But man, it is a fucking bitch that these people get away with shit like this.
Yeah, that one was bad. I saw it the other day. I was just like, I don't want to bring this up again but here we are. As far as my dumbass of the week and my report of the week, it's a recurring theme with this person that they're a public figure, an incredibly successful public figure. John Bones Jones, UFC fighter. He is arguably one of the best fighters in the history of the UFC at his weight class, and arguably one of the best fighters just ever, period. The guy, his actual fighting style is phenomenal. His abilities, like the things that he comes up with while he's fighting are almost just like art with how well he does what he does. But god damn, he's an idiot.
He's a dumbass.
Yes. So last year, I know he got charged with assault, or I don't know if he was charged or convicted of assault charges that stemmed from like another incident.
Didn't he beat his girlfriend or something?
Yep, that was the assault charge.
Yeah.
And I think the year before, he got a DUI and was suspended from the UFC for testing positive for cocaine.
God damn. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, just this week, this genius happened to get another DWI. And how it happened was so fucking dumb that it makes it even worse. So it was, he lives in New Mexico, and I believe it was in New Mexico. And someone reported hearing gunshots in like a certain area and didn't know what it was for. They just heard a couple gunshots at like 1 a.m, had no idea what they were for. So police went to go investigate the gunshots. Instead, what they find is John Jones pulled over in his car, hammered, like absolutely just hammered. He claims he wasn't the one that fired the shots.
Did you do air quotes when you said claims?
Yes.
Yeah, that pause. You guys knew that pause, like he was doing air quotes right there. All right. Continue.
Yep. So he claims had nothing to do with the shots being fired up into the air, I'm assuming. And so they do a field sobriety test that he failed miserably. Like he, according to the report and everything that I read, he failed that sobriety test miserably. And so what they end up doing is they arrest him, they search his car, they find a handgun in his car, under his seat, and in the back seat, or under the back seat, they found a half empty bottle of liquor, 750 milliliter bottle, half empty. And I don't know what type of liquor. I don't remember what it was. I think it was tequila, but I could be wrong. But either way, half empty bottle of liquor underneath his back seat. So he was charged with DWI, an open container in a car, and negligent use of a firearm.
You know, it is incredible how much this guy cannot get out of his own way, right?
Yeah.
Because I think pound for pound, he's probably the best UFC fighter who has ever fought.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. Like, depending on who you ask him, there's like Anderson Silva. There's a couple
Is it Mighty
that are
Mouse?
in that. There's a couple that are in that discussion, but as far as like his actual just level of dominance that he has had over the last, I don't know, 10 years, maybe not that long, but however long it's been, like, the guy is a master when he's fighting.
And so I don't know if you know this, but we have the Cardinals have his, I think, older brother on the team.
Really?
Yeah, Chandler Jones.
I did not know that.
Defensive end, one of the best defensive players in the league.
Damn.
No issues, bro. No drama, no issues. He's been a model athlete since we traded for him.
That's an athletic as hell family. Goddamn.
Right? Two brothers making it to different professional levels. But it's just crazy how you got one brother who's a fuck up, can't get out of his own way, and another one who is, again, successful in his own sport and he's on his shit and he knows what he's doing and he doesn't get in trouble. Crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts to see it. And like I was like a big John Jones fan. Now I'm just like, come on, man. Like, at what point do you stop sabotaging yourself? Because he's literally the only thing holding himself back.
Mm-hmm. Like when fights get canceled because he tests positive for this and positive for that. It's all on him. Bro, you're going to win. Why do you need to inject yourself with shit? You're going to win.
Yeah, that literally. I mean, that's basically what it is. Like, who you're fighting, you're probably going to win. So that's mine. That's my report of the week. And I know I went on a rant about that. It's a fighter, it's a sport, whatever. But damn, that is freaking irritating. Mm-hmm. I will say, on a fun fact that I just saw, something a little bit more positive. I literally just saw this maybe 20 minutes before we jumped on this to record this.
Okay.
So every major sport is shut down right now. I mean, as they should be.
Yeah.
So apparently, the NBA is looking to start up a horse competition across like all the different athletes, like their own personal gyms, their own homes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I want to watch it.
I'm curious to see what it would be like. So is it like they pre-record it and then we see it 2 weeks later after it's all edited type of thing? Because I'm more interested if it's kind of like live stream with like a 5-minute delay for cussing.
That's what I'm hoping it is. So it's, from the sound of it, it is very early talks. It is very early discussions to figure it out. Mm-hmm. But I'm hoping it is live, or as live as it can be. Like you said, a little bit of a delay for editing, cussing, whatever, but they allow the players to trash talk. They allow them to basically just talk shit to each other. And then it'll be cool to see how they actually end up doing it, because they also have to get like cameras involved and set all that up. So I'm curious how they can actually set all those things up and still have, really, really good quality.
Exactly. Because lighting, sound, because gyms are very,
they're acoustic nightmares.
Yes, thank you. So to be able to do that properly and make it not sound like shit, be a good quality, it's going to have its challenges, but I'm really curious. I hope it happens because, man, I am tired of listening to sports talks radio with almost nothing to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's nothing for any sports radio to talk about. It's like, well, what are we going to talk about when the season starts back up again? I have no idea.
I'm curious to see what the ratings are for like ESPN right now.
Oh, God, they've got to be just tanking.
You think so, right? Like, how many times can we hear these motherfuckers just speak?
Then again, the same shit? I mean, if literally everyone's home and they have nothing to do, maybe they're actually up.
I was actually showing a clip the other day where they're doing it basically the way we are. They're all in front of their computers recording, with 4 other people and doing their show still, which is pretty cool that everyone's trying to survive. And you're seeing that with either YouTube and again, multi-billion-dollar TV stations doing it. So, man,
Yeah.
everybody out here hustling to try to make content.
Dude, it is actually pretty funny to see. So like my wife's family, they watch a lot of Mexican news at their house. And so we'll go visit them and we'll be having dinner or having lunch, just kind of sitting around the table watching the Mexican news stations here. And it is freaking hilarious to see everyone like from their home, just like sitting in like their living room or in this like kitchen, whatever it may be. Like they're all just reporting all this stuff about the news from their own home. And they even had a segment the other day where it was like they were trying to do like a virtual Zumba class.
Oh shit.
So like the caster had changed into like workout clothes and she's in like her living room like jumping around and like dancing and like all this stuff. Like, you know what, kudos, like good on you for doing that and for actually trying to stay active and exercise. But I'll be damned if that just didn't look funny.
That's fucking horrible. I love it though. Like I forgot where I saw it, but there was a local news anchor who had to make a makeshift teleprompter, and it looks so cool the way she did it. It was just a picture, so I couldn't see exactly, but it's like, man, she is out there like, we're gonna do this. I need to have this, and she makeshifted it at home, and it's like, yes, it's cool. It's really cool to me.
That is awesome. I mean, freaking the old saying is like necessity breeds creativity, or something along those lines.
And it's very true right now with everybody doing it. Even I don't know. So did you see the CNN anchor going against the New York governor and their brothers?
What happened?
So after the interview, they still were speaking. It's like, thank you for joining me, but you know what you should do? You need to call mom. You need to call mom more. I did call mom, and these two dudes, again, successful in their fields, right? One's on TV and one's the fucking governor of a state.
Are they brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're arguing like children. And it went on. It's like, I did call mom. It's like, no, you didn't. She told me that this morning. It's like, I have called her. This, like, we all know who mom's favorite is. It's not you. And it's like, your mom's favorite is on fucking TV, man. It was fucking crazy how everybody. I was like, I could not imagine how awkward the people like in the media section were like, what the fuck? Do we cut? No. This is ratings. It just became like 3 minutes of brothers, not an anchor and a governor, of brothers arguing on TV.
That is freaking hilarious. I mean, I will say, like, you're going to it's tough to balance that level of like professionalism and like, I guess, familiarity, like when you're doing everything from home. So, I mean, for us, for my job, we're all doing video calls. They're like on several times a week. There isn't a single call that doesn't get interrupted by someone's kid or someone's pet.
Yep.
I'm like, it's a business meeting. And so it's like, we'll literally be talking, we'll be having very, very serious conversation. And like our director, who's in charge of like the company, basically, she'll be telling us something, we'll assigning tasks, whatever it may be. And then someone's cat will walk across the screen and she'll just stop. Ooh, kitty.
No,
like, wait, what the hell?
I haven't had that yet. I've had dogs barking in the background. Man, that's awesome. I wish I had that. I wish I fucking cats like, oh, look, a kitty.
Yeah, literally, it'll just be this serious conversation. Ooh, kitty. And then cue 5 minutes of literally everyone going and getting their pet and holding it up to the camera or like moving their camera to show their pet, and it totally derails it. And then we get back to the meeting.
Hey, working at home has its challenges, but that's fucking. That's a good one. I like that challenge.
Yeah, it's been interesting, man. There's been a lot of things that have taken some getting used to, and a lot of things that you see different now with everyone being at home. I mean, for my wife and I, just before all of this started about a month ago, we were really, really wanting to get like an indoor garden and wanting to start to grow our own herbs, things like basil, rosemary, thyme, mint, just for everything that we like to make and try to make a bunch of different things, and those are just going to be the most commonly used ingredients. And I've been sending you like periodic updates of like how quickly that shit's growing.
Yo,
Damn,
that basil
grows fast.
That basil surprised me. I'm like, because you see the other ones growing next to it. I'm like, I think I see a green speck of mint growing, but damn, that basil is. You need to find something to do with that basil.
Yeah, well, the cool thing about it is like basil, I mean, or at least anything like that, I mean, pretty much every ingredient calls for like dried basil. And so literally just once it's getting to a decent enough size, pick it off, let it dry.
Oh, okay, you can do that. Yeah. There are some things that call for fresh basil, so don't do it all. And then
no, I mean, you pick and choose like as needed. But
you,
I'm just excited for the mint because I really want to make a damn mint julep.
Are you growing oregano too?
We have not. We haven't done that.
What was in that picture then?
So it was two different types of basil, and then thyme and mint.
Oh, that is thyme. Yeah, you're right. It looked like a little bit of oregano. That's thyme.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the mint literally just started to sprout like this week. It's been like 3 weeks or almost 4 weeks since we planted everything, and the mint like just started to sprout. We thought it was not going to grow at all, and then just the other day, I'm like, oh shit, there's a little tiny green.
I'm just glad you're growing something besides weeds in your house.
Yeah, well, they're coming back. Like we got rid of all of them, and those damn things are already coming.
I told you, man, we can rent a fucking blowtorch, just burn the fucking
right?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Those weeds are a whole different story.
I'm gonna say this because I hope your wife listens to it. I'm also growing mint. Mine is growing a lot faster. I didn't buy seeds, though. I bought something kind of was already growing, and I planted it. And bro, that motherfucker keeps growing. Every time I go out there to look at it, it's just like another fucking branch where I cut off leaves. It's sprouting into 3 more branches, and this thing is getting so big.
Nice.
I'm so proud of it. I have mint for days.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited. I want mint. Damn it!
I want basil.
No other reason than I just love the scent of mint.
Well, I've told you this before. A childhood snack of mine was my mom would put mint in a cup with lemon and salt, and she would feed it to me. I would eat mint as a snack. So, like, that's how much I still like mint. I love it. That's what most of my
probably still snack on that.
I would if I didn't want it to grow, I would. I found better uses of it in cocktails.
Dude, I cannot wait. Also, we need to find julep cups, like actual good ones, because I want to make a mint julep. And once all
summer's coming up. It's the drink for the Derby,
Kentucky
right?
Derby, yeah.
Yeah,
which isn't going to happen, but
nope. But we can still drink juleps.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But yeah, the garden's cool. I'm excited. Or if you need basil, just let me know.
Well, there's cocktails with basil, and I don't want to buy basil because I don't want to.
Fair enough.
Like, if we don't like it, then I'm stuck with all this fucking basil. But here we are.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess those will have to go on our back burner. That when this does blow over, and you come over again, then we'll be able to just try them. Then we'll just pick some basil leaves off of the freaking plant, and then.
I think it's basil smash. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Did you see that Corona stopped beer production?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they shut their factories down.
Like, just I'm assuming temporarily.
Yeah, but so the of course you want the story to be that publicity has gotten so bad that Corona beer decided to close up shop until this blows over. Right. That's the best headline, right? No, right. It's just they're Mexico's doing the same thing we are, where it's essential businesses only. A brewery over there is not considered an essential business. Gotcha. I don't know how with, Mexico is like one of the stereotypes is, they love their beer, but Grupo Modelo shut down their Corona factory, but, said, we'll be ready when we have to go. But it's just like, man. Damn. Of all of the, I guess that was what I was expecting. I wasn't thinking of it from the perspective of like, oh yeah, it's a business shutting down. It's like, wait a minute. No, the community backlash of people not wanting to buy Corona because they're idiots and think it's the same. Well, I mean, if you go to I think last time I went to Total Wine, their whole beer section was empty, but there was a pallet full of Corona.
Yeah, and I mean, that just very few things really get under my skin other than stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my one. And the whole thing of like the amount of people that were like, I'm boycotting Corona beer because of the coronavirus. I'm like, you are a moron. You're an absolute moron. You're probably the same moron that thinks chocolate milk comes from brown cows.
It doesn't?
God damn it.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I was like, wait till you see what strawberry milk comes from.
Oh, that's disturbing.
Uh.
But I can only imagine right now, like I love data. I love numbers. I love just seeing data. There's a subreddit called Data is Beautiful. It's one of my favorite subreddits just because I love seeing how things get like portrayed. I love seeing trends, all of that. I am legitimately curious to see the amount of bandwidth that is being used across the entire country by all the different ISPs right now.
Well, did we talk about it last week, or where people were trying to blame gamers for the bandwidth? And it's like,
oh god, yeah.
And someone did the math, like, no, if you play a game for an hour, it's about 50 to 60 megs.
If that.
If you stream a movie from Netflix at HD, it's about 3 gigs.
Yeah, and that's not even a 4K movie. That's just a 1080p movie that you stream.
Right? And it's like, bitch, get your Switch. Why you always get attacked the gamers? But yeah, have you had any trouble streaming shit?
No, I haven't. I mean, granted, like I am overkill on my internet. Like I have gigabit internet in my house.
Oh, you know what? Netflix actually cut down on the bit rate they send stuff out.
I have noticed. So I guess my wife and I, we watch a lot of stuff on Hulu. We don't watch as much Netflix, so I haven't really noticed it as much on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also like late at night, my glasses are off or laying down. And
ultimately,
so at that point, if the quality got worse, I can't fucking tell anyway.
Ultimately, at that point, you're looking for shit to distract you. You're not looking at like, that's not 1080p right there. Fuck it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, not even in the slightest. I could be 5 feet away from it without my glasses, not be able to tell whether it's 1080.
And then when you said that the Scooby-Doo is a Vilma, my glasses, I can't see anything without my glasses. It's like every fucking episode she lost her fucking glasses. Anyways, that's what you reminded me of.
No, I have realized that I'm totally blind without my glasses. It's pretty bad.
Have you picked up any new shows that you're watching that you wouldn't regularly watch because of being home all day?
All right. I was hoping you wouldn't ask this question.
Okay.
So the last few days, we have been binge watching the shit out of Golden Girls. See,
I can't hate on that because I grew up watching a lot of Golden Girls on Lifetime, bitch. The channel for women. It would be The Nanny, and then the next half hour would be Golden Girls, and I'm pretty sure I watched all of them. I even watched when someone left the fucking show and they went down to Miami and opened up a hotel. So that's how much Golden Girls I watched.
Okay, cool. So the whole reason I bring that up is I had the goddamn theme song stuck in my head all day.
Thank you for being...
Fuck you.
It's a fucking crazy song, bro.
Dude, it is such a terrible song.
It's like it gets stuck in your head and it doesn't leave.
Yeah, no, my wife and I were talking about this just last night. We're like, there's no way that they paid whoever created that song that much because it is such a shit song. Like, nothing about it flows. Nothing about it is just like good. It's like, there's no way they paid that much for that and still created that song. But goddamn, it's stuck in my head.
That's awesome. I like that. That's probably the best thing that's gonna come out of this shit.
I do have to say that I understand the appeal of the show, because like my wife looks at me, she grew up with the show. She watched it all the time growing up. I never watched it ever, like in my entire life. And just until recently we started watching it. And I'm over there like busting out laughing at it because it is very much like older, like more mature humor.
Mm-hmm.
And some of just like the wittiness and the cleverness, like I sincerely appreciate that. And so I will bust out laughing and she'll look at me like I'm freaking crazy.
Yo, I can't remember the name of the oldest lady, but I think her real name was Estelle.
Yeah, yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
that lady's comeback sometimes fucking kill you if they were directed at you. I was like, man, that fucking lady's spot on. Like, oh, fucking comebacks and everything.
Yeah. Who would have thought that this podcast would turn 5 minutes of talking about Golden Girls?
I'm pretty sure there is a Golden Girls podcast out there.
It would not surprise me. I have no desire to look for that.
I don't either. But everyone's, yeah, a show that long, and yeah, definitely.
I didn't realize there were that many. It's like 7 seasons with like 25 episodes every season. I was like, damn, there's a lot of episodes.
Damn, I didn't know.
Yeah, I think we're on like season 4 right now.
Okay, shit. We'll probably finish it next week.
Yeah, probably at this rate. Yeah. What about you? What are you watching?
I've been struggling because I've kind of just go through everything so quickly. I don't normally pick up when things on Netflix go popular, but I couldn't ignore the Tiger King shit any longer because memes everywhere and shit. Man, that is I don't think you'd like it.
I based on what I've heard about it, I don't think I. There was another podcast that I listened to that they were talking about it. I was like, yeah, this just sounds dumb.
Mm-hmm. It's dumb, but it's like it's kind of like a car crash. You shouldn't be looking at it, but you can't turn away.
Okay.
It takes a few episodes. It's like, oh, now I got to see how the fuck this shit ends.
Is it just like really trashy?
Yeah, and it's like everyone having tigers, and there's this one dude who the internet's kind of ignoring, but I'm pretty sure he's enslaving virgins.
Interesting.
Yep, they work at his park, and it's super weird. And how no one is like, everyone's talking about everything else. The actual guy they call the Tiger King, this fucked up business partner, the lady who everyone's saying killed her husband, but they're kind of ignoring that other dude. And it's just like, someone needs to investigate his ass because, yeah, that dude has a cult with tigers and is enslaving these virgins to work for him.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I have no desire to watch it. Based on your description, on some of the stuff that I've heard, I really have no desire to watch that.
I suggest you keep it that way. That's really it for me. I mean, I'm watching random shows that I would normally watch anyways. But hopefully something else turns up because we're running out of content here.
I know, right? It's going to be an interesting few weeks or however long this takes for all of this to blow over. But
I mean, what do you miss? Or you said that last week, right? Going out and shit.
Yeah, I do miss going out, like just to really do anything. Like it's weird. So for the longest time, I feel like I was extremely introverted, and I still am a lot of times. But like now I am a lot more outgoing. I'm willing to drive up conversations and draw up conversations with people and really just engage with people. And so it's really weird to not have that ability and simply just like talk to people on the phone all day and like make calls to try to drum up business, make calls to try to do really anything. I mean, just between like my actual job and then like stuff I do on the side, it's really weird to just have that switch because I'm like, I don't know exactly where to go, like what to turn off, like what parts of me to turn off, and like if I'm able to just have like that kind of anti-social side again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been interesting. It's been an interesting switch trying to like almost relearn how to like not interact with people every single day.
What do you think of those people who are like going insane being inside all day? Like posting the pictures of themselves crying and things like that?
I'm torn. So one is I can understand it. I can understand the people that just kind of like lose it, but I'm also thinking like, all right, this is a show. Like it's people that make their money doing YouTube, doing whatever. At least the ones that I've seen have all been like quote unquote professional YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like posting videos of like, oh my, I'm breaking down on camera, I'm this, I'm that, because their entire channel has been them just being involved in some sort of drama, being involved in some sort of thing to draw attention to their life. And so I'm like, okay, well, this is what you're going to do now to draw attention to your life, is have a meltdown.
I'm with you there. I'm torn as well, where it's like, yeah, probably some of these people's mental health needs to be examined and things like that. And the other side of me is like, man, are you that bad of a person that you can't even stand yourself for 2 weeks?
Yeah, and so like again, I'm torn also because she has worked from home for, I want to say, like 5 or 6 years now. Like, she has worked from home. Granted, like, she has people from her office, like, and she's had the ability that if she needed to go into the office or whatever, like, she could do that. But for the most part, she's worked from home, and so I've seen the desire to get out and go do things, because that was part of the reason why we would go out all the time and go do things, is because she was like, "Hey, I've been cooped up in the house all day. Like, I want to go do something."
Mm-hmm.
And so I've seen that, where it's like, okay, I've been in the house all day. I want to do something. I want to. And so for people that aren't used to that, it is definitely tough. It is definitely something to really adjust to and have issues with. And so I can see how some of those meltdowns are actual like meltdowns versus people just like trying to draw attention. But again, I'm torn. I don't know which are true, which aren't.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what. Yeah, you're right. It is really hard to tell which ones are real, which ones are just for attention. I wish there's more we could look into.
So your building is, because like you've still had to go to work.
Yeah.
Right. You've still had to be at the building for the most part.
Yeah.
How the hell are the people there taking that?
It's both.
It's a lot of people there.
Yeah, it's around 400 people. It's either some people are still treating it as normal. I see them walk through the lobby multiple times a day, going in and out, living life as normal as possible. There's people who come out with like not only a N95 mask, but a bandana over it to try to really protect themselves.
Okay.
There's a guy who actually hooked me up with some masks for the staff because I couldn't find any. But he was like, I'll leave him outside my door. Come pick him up. And he's not leaving the place anymore, really.
Oh, shit.
And there's this one bitch who just went to New York and came back and is going out like normal.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm like, they've said, if you travel to New York, quarantine yourself for 14 days. No, that bitch got in an Uber, went away, and did her own thing. And it's like, it's treated as like, I told an employee today, hey, if she comes down, practice caution, stay away from her. Because, hey, if we get it, it's going to be her fault.
Yeah, seriously. That's some bullshit. Like that.
It's she probably, I think, would still count as a millennial, but maybe a little younger. And it's just like, yeah, it's just that whole mentality of that generation where.
How old?
I don't know, but she can't be older than 25.
Okay. So, I mean, that wouldn't be millennial. That's like Gen X.
Gen X. And so all these Gen Xers, man, who are just like, because did you see the people were making fun of last week going to the beach in Miami? There's a bunch of them who have coronavirus now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit, before we get too far. I know we talked about coronavirus in the beginning, but out of New York, a recommendation came that you shouldn't eat ass.
Dude, I saw that.
Yes!
That will forever go down in history, that the actual CDC is recommending that amidst all of this, everyone stops eating ass.
The technical term they used was rimming.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, there's someone who got into helping the world and changing and protecting the American country by working for the CDC. I had to type a memo or a fucking pamphlet or whatever that said, please don't rim.
Oh my God. I totally forgot about that. And that
I'm so glad you remembered. Oh my, it's just so bad. But yeah, so there's that woman who got, I'm glad I bought a mask, or I have a few masks, and I kind of protect myself when I'm there, but I'm going to try to make an effort to maybe work half days That way I'm just there less.
Yeah.
Um, but man, this past week at work has been fucking crazy. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's the Rona, as the kids call it,
Oh
making people
God.
crazy.
I'm gonna make you stop saying that.
uh, I don't know if it's the pandemic causing people to go crazy, but all right. So last week, I get text messages from my concierge saying, "Hey, this is what's going on. This guy's going crazy. Call the cops, but they're taking a while to get here," which is another topic. And then he sends me the security footage of what happened. This dude was pulling out the doors, and they're mag locked, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're glass, full 100% glass. So my guy left the door opens because he was scared this guy was gonna break the fucking doors. As soon as the doors open, he takes, I guess, his food container and just tosses it at the front desk.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. So, and then he comes in, and I look at more footage, and like a few minutes later, he's in again. There's someone leaving the building. We have a witness besides the cameras, and it looks like he spits at the direction of my concierge. So,
Oh Jesus.
that's assault. But right now, man, there's not saying what could have been in that spit. So, yeah. So that fucking dude was charged with a few things. He wasn't arrested because the police have coronavirus
like
concerns.
concerns. Yeah.
They're concerns. I mean, they want to protect themselves as well. So he wasn't taken to jail, but trespassing and all that type of stuff.
So civil fines, not criminal.
Yeah. His girlfriend wants my concierge to press charges against him to kind of teach him a lesson, to get help, because he's not all there mentally. Like, you can't make the argument that he's all there, that when your girlfriend breaks up with you, you fucking assault somebody else who has nothing to do with your personal issue.
Yeah.
I want to give props to the concierge, though, as we were watching the security footage. Bro, as someone threw something at him, he didn't even flinch.
Damn.
He was so calm and collected on the phone, like with the cops, like, yeah, Bro didn't even move. It was just, we're all like, whoa, did he even throw anything at him? Because we're just shocked that he wouldn't even flinch. It's like, man, that's a good guy.
I've seen some shit.
Oh, he has. He's worked for a casino. He's like, oh yeah, I work for a casino. I've seen it all, man.
That's every day. Then he's like,
yeah.
He's like, oh, that. He's like, that was Tuesday.
Yeah. So here's another one thing that happened. I took a few days off last week, and my staff, very nice of them, they let me alone. But when they thought I was already like back, they sent me videos of a fire extinguisher going off in the garage. So we see
fire extinguisher,
yeah,
like the actual, like with the white, like mist spray. Okay.
But we see two people who aren't touching it, but it's going off. So based off what we saw, it's like maybe they triggered a way that it was gonna start blowing the chemical out as they ran away.
Okay.
They're sticking to that there was somebody else there, that he was the one holding the thing up, blowing the chemicals out.
Interesting.
There is nobody else on the camera, man. It is them two.
Is it a clear shot?
It's a really, really clear shot. I have to send it to you. The video camera does skip a bit, so unless he's gone in that missed frame. But man, I showed them the footage. I'm like, I know what you're telling me, but this is what I see. And there's nobody there. And like, they're even confused, like, why is no one there? We swear to God it was there. Look, these are the text messages he sent us, that he's really sorry and he's not coming back to the building. Like, I don't care. You're responsible. You're paying for a new one, which I didn't know this until I had to look it up. The ones in parking garages are way more expensive than ones you'd see in regular areas, because they have
to be like for automotive, right?
Yes. It is $600.
They have to be used for. They have to be able to put out like automotive fires, electrical fires, like like grease or like oil fires, like all of that.
Exactly. So it's $600. Then we still have to get it certified.
Damn.
Yep, that dude is Well,
Yeah, that's gonna hurt a little bit.
I hope it does. Because goddamn, that was annoying. As I said, we're gonna
Man,
touch.
that has been an eventful week just from everything
There's,
being shut down. And it's like you still have all this stuff going on. Meanwhile,
well, homeless
my
guys.
week
Oh,
insists of like phone calls.
that's really, really well. I mean, like, good for you. I'm jealous. Although I do hate making phone calls, man. When I come back and see a bunch of voicemails, I'm like, fuck.
It's not
And I
fun.
gotta, yeah, it's annoying and like whatever. You know who doesn't pick up the fucking phone? It's the City of Phoenix Police.
Really?
Someone came in and was like, hey, this homeless guy just knocked over this box outside. And in my head, I'm like, oh, it's probably just they knocked over the garbage cans, put on gloves, gonna go out there, just pick it up.
Yeah.
No, there's this homeless guy who's not all there, knocked over a giant metal box
What the hell?
with a base made out of concrete that looked like it was 3 inches thick. So how the hell he got the force to knock that shit over, I don't know. Maybe he was tweaking out on some type of drug. So, all right, cool. I'm gonna call the cops. Non-emergency. He's like, we're busy, leave a message. And that shit repeats itself. Nothing. Okay. He's starting to hit the building now. I'll call 911. No one picks up. And it's me going back and forth between non-emergency and 911 6 times. So 3 times each. Until finally someone picks up the fucking phone. Because I could be fucking getting murdered right now when ain't nobody picking up the phone.
Freaking dispatch isn't even answered. They went home too.
So we have a cop in the building. I asked them, hey, did they cut the staff at the dispatch? He's like, no, why? It's like, it's what happened. It took me a shitload of times until finally someone answered. I was like, no, not that I'm aware of. And I was like, all right, fuck. We don't know why they didn't pick up the phone. Maybe, but who the fuck knows? But
damn.
Yeah. Here.
That is an adventure, man. What in the world? Like, so.
So you would have been pissed because that box turned out to be a Cox box that had the fiber.
No.
Yeah. So, like, we didn't know what it was.
But, like, your whole building's internet went out?
No, luckily it didn't. But the cables, bro, were on so tight. And, they all have, like, all cables have something surrounding them.
Yeah.
They were starting to break, and you were able to see the cable inside.
Oh.
Here's the thing. When finally got the cops on the phone, I was like, well, we can't really do much. I would send you to fire department. Okay, fuck it. And it's like, well, we don't really mess with utilities, so we're not going to send anybody out there. We will contact APS. Because at that point, we didn't know who it was. I'm like, okay, so no one's coming out. APS showed up in like 3 minutes. It's like, yeah, it's not ours, but they taped it all off, and they called Cox, and they kind of flipped it back up and shit. And luckily, nothing was damaged. But
damn,
I want to report the City of Phoenix right now.
He'll go back to the beginning episode.
I don't think it should take 6 phone calls to get police on the phone, especially when shit can get crazy out there.
Damn,
that was my week.
I think that's where we call it.
Thank God, I'm a little riled up right now.
Oh my God. So thank you guys again for listening. This was episode 7 of the Nobody Important podcast. It is part 2 of our social distancing episodes. Again, follow us on Anchor, Pocket Cast, Spotify, YouTube, and then finally on Apple Podcasts. And then also follow us on the Nobody Important podcast, where you can actually see pictures of, right now it's primarily just fun stuff like the drinks that we make for the week, as well as like recipes and just like any other random things we kind of think are fun throughout the week. So give us a follow, and we will see you guys next time. Tune in later.